All right, welcome to the Football Night in America podcast. As always, we are presented by Lowe's. You know Coach Dungy, you know Rodney Harrison. Guys, we were just there in Kansas City. Week 14, it was all about the playoff implications. And it wasn't just our game, it was around the NFL. Coach, I'll start with you. Your biggest takeaway from Week 14 was what?
Well, I really thought there were 5 games that the winner was going to make the playoffs. December football. Our game, Texans, Chiefs, Bears, Packers, Steelers, Ravens, Bills, Bengals, and Colts, Jags. I thought those 5 games, whoever won is going to the playoffs. And my biggest takeaway is from our game. The Texans, I think they're going to make the playoffs, and I think they're going to make some noise with that defense. They showed that they could go into Kansas City, win a big game, not play great offense, but do enough to win on the road. I think they're going to be dangerous.
I agree with you, Coach. And for me, it's the Baltimore Ravens and just how bad they look. And I mean, if this team gets into the playoffs, they could be one and done. And when I look at Lamar Jackson, Jack, he doesn't look mentally prepared. He doesn't look like he's emotionally ready to play. I don't know what's going on with him, if he's dealing with some issues off the field. But typically when you see a guy performance tank like that, something's going on off the field. And they've lost confidence in his arm. He needs to use his legs. And then you start looking at that schedule the next month of the season when you got to play the Bengals, the Patriots, the Packers, and the Steelers. They could realistically, Coach, lose all 4 of those games and be in trouble.
Yeah, and I think with Lamar, maybe not so much off the field, but I don't think he's physically where he used to be. He gets back in the pocket. He used to run away from guys, make things happen, have those long runs. You couldn't play man-to-man coverage because he would just scramble and escape. And now he's not doing that. He's avoiding the rush, but he's throwing. I don't see the electric big plays, and I think it's physical.
So do you think it could still be that hamstring injury that's bothering him, Coach? Is that
There's
kind of what
something.
you're
He
hitting
is not running and moving like he used to, and I think that's affecting his whole game.
Yeah, when you're a scrambling quarterback and you take a lot of hits, man, it could be anything. It could be mentally, hey, I don't want to take another hit, or I got a concussion they don't know about. It could be anything. But the bottom line is he's just not himself. So whatever it takes to make Lamar more comfortable or make him feel like more like himself, Jack, that's what they need to focus on.
You guys think they'll win this weekend in Cincinnati, Coach?
I question it because Cincinnati is playing very good offense. And I think they'll put up some points. Baltimore is not playing great defense. So I see Cincinnati getting 24 to 31 points. Can Baltimore do that? Yes, Cincinnati's got a suspect defense, but Baltimore has not been running the ball like we've seen the Ravens in the past. And if they go in there and try to throw to win the game, I don't know that they will.
And nothing else beats an opportunity to sweep a team. You know, when you get a chance to really lay that mark, and you know how Joe Burrow and the Bengals, they're going to be fired up at home, man. And they're going to say, hey, we're not making the playoffs, but we have an opportunity to ruin somebody else's playoff hopes. So I expect them to come out and play wild, Jack.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so give me one thing in the AFC, one thing in the NFC. Let's start with the AFC. One thing with this final month, this home stretch of the season that you are locked in on, Rodney, would be what in the AFC?
Actually, I'm looking at the Texans and the Broncos, man. And you look at both these teams, they're very similarly built with great defenses. We have question marks about their offense, but the quarterbacks don't make a lot of mistakes, and they have, smart, motivating coaches. So for me, it's those 2 teams. Which team is gonna, the Patriots are right there for that number 1 seed, but between these 2 teams, which is gonna come out of the AFC?
And you know what I'm looking at this week? I want to see Buffalo and New England and get a sense of where we are and where these teams are. Buffalo has to be feeling pretty good. Kansas City's probably not going to make it. Cincinnati's not going to make it. So if I'm Josh Allen, I don't have to play probably against these great quarterbacks. This should be my year. But now I've got the Patriots who are in front of me. I've got a chance to make a statement this week and say we're on that same level. But if they can't go do that, then that's going to tell me a lot about Buffalo.
And I also look at the Pats and the Broncos, too, fighting for that number 1 seed. And, Coach, you know how important that number 1 seed is to be able to get that week rest, to get home field advantage throughout the playoffs. That is huge. You talk about health of your team. You need that time off. And I think it's going to come down to one of those 2 teams.
Yeah, and they
Is
both
the
have
Bills
tough
defense
games
good
this
enough?
week.
Yeah. So, sorry, Coach. I was just going to say, is the Bills defense good enough? I mean, that was one thing we saw against the Bengals. We've seen it throughout the course of this year. It's like they just give up points in a hurry.
Jack,
I mean,
let me answer
defense
that.
good enough? Rod, go ahead.
No, they're not good enough. And yes, and we talked about this Sunday in our post-game show. We talked about, hey, how long is this sustainable for Josh Allen to do all these crazy things that he does? At the end of the day, they need a defense, and they need a defense that can stop the run. If they can't stop the run, they're going to get in the playoffs. And these teams, even like the Texans, you see the Broncos, they're going to run the football. And if the Chargers happen to make it, they're going to run the football and see if Buffalo can stop it. If Buffalo can't stop the run, they're going to be one and done, Coach. That's just the bottom line of it.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Our Super Bowl year, we had a great offensive team, and Peyton Manning was putting up points. But we went into Baltimore and we had a 15-6 game. We had a game where we played against a good defense, and Peyton couldn't be magical. You need that defense sometime to step up, and I don't know if the Buffalo defense can if they get in the game where Josh Allen doesn't put up 30 points.
All right, flip it over then. Let's go to the NFC. In this NFC playoff race right now, one thing that has your attention, Coach, is what?
Well, to me, it's the NFC West. And I think the best team in probably in football is going to come out of there. And is it going to be the Rams? Is it going to be Seattle, or even San Francisco? Whoever wins that division, they're going to be battle tested. They're going to be ready. They're going to have a good defense and a quarterback that's playing good football. So I want to see how this race turns out. And I'm very, very impressed with the West right now.
Yeah, I'm the same way with the NFC North, Coach. I mean, both these teams will be battle tested, the Bears and the Packers. And just looking at the Packers and what
you
they're
say both now. Are you throwing the Lions out?
Well, I'm talking about to win the division.
Well, that's what I'm asking. You saying the Lions are done to win?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Well, to win the division, it's either going to be the Bears or the Packers. Okay. I think the Bears are going to go back home. I think the Bears are going to play better and beat the Packers at home. But you the one told me, hey, I'm picking the Packers as my division winner, and I said I'm going to go with the Bears. But to me, I've just been so impressed with Christian Watson and his impact that he's made in the passing game. They're finally feeding Josh Jacobs the ball, and that defense, Coach. You keep telling me about that defense and just the speed and athleticism at linebacker. They are really good. And you're right, Coach. Nobody's going to want to play the Green Bay Packers. You're absolutely right on that.
Coach, are you not throwing the Lions out?
I'm not throwing the Lions out because of the young quarterbacks on the Packers and the Bears. But the Lions have an uphill battle. I don't think physically they're where they were last year. Their defense is not nearly as good. They're not running the ball as well. So they've got an uphill battle. I think the Packers are going to win it. I think the Bears are going to be second, and the Lions are going to be third. But the Lions could sneak in the playoffs, and if they do, people will be hesitant to play them as well.
Yeah, I think the Lions at sometimes, Coach, their offense is kind of limited. I think, at times they depend on Jahmyr Gibbs so much, one guy. I like the Bears. I like their defense. The Packers defense has much improved, and I think they can put up a lot of points. So I'm with you. The Lions probably fall into that third spot, Jack.
Yeah, and the problem for the Lions, if they don't win the division, which they probably won't, now you're playing games on the road. And you're going into the cold weather places, or you're going to Seattle, you're going to Chicago, and that we know that hasn't been the place that they function the best.
Excellent point.
You said it. Let's get on down to old man Rivers. Phillip Rivers to the practice squad, back to the Colts. He's 44 years old, hasn't played in 5 years. Amazing. Some people were talking about maybe Joe Flacco kind of gets released and then they find a way to pick him up. Obviously, we're beyond the trade deadline. Instead, it's Phillip Rivers. Wow. Rodney, what did you think when you first heard this news?
I was like, wow, I couldn't believe it. But then at the same time, I started thinking, like, I trust Phillip Rivers more than I trust this Riley kid. And they're not going to ask him to do a whole bunch. I mean, I think that offensive line is say, hey, man, we got Phillip Rivers. We can't, we have to make sure that we protect him. And he's got big weapons across the board in the passing game, coach. They got tall receivers, a big physical tight end. You got a run game with Jonathan Taylor. Use those things. And he's not going to run. He's not going to scramble, but they needed a smart quarterback that understood the system, that can get the ball to the right people and be that leader. And Phillip Rivers can come in and he can take control of the locker room. He's not a shy guy. He's going to look you in the face and tell you what needs to be done. And he can be that leader that they're missing right now, coach.
Yeah, this is a desperation move, no doubt about it. The team was 7-1. They've got to win now to keep hope alive. You lost your first quarterback. Your second quarterback's on IR. Your third quarterback, who's a rookie, is banged up. So what do? Yeah, I can get a Joe Flacco, get somebody who's played. I'm sure they investigated all that. They weren't able to do it. We've got to get somebody who can come in right now and win a game for us. I don't know if Phillip can, but it's worth the try, in my opinion.
Is there anybody else, Coach, that you could even think of that the Colts could have called? I mean, a guy who hasn't played in 5 years. I remember the end of his run, and this guy has an amazing career. But at the end, it looked like it was time. We're now 5 years past that expiration date. Is there anybody else that you thought of that was possible besides Phillip Rivers?
No, the only thing that you could hope for is to talk somebody into releasing one of their guys. You can't make a trade at this point. So can I talk the New York Giants into releasing Russell Wilson? And maybe I get him. Can I talk, can Joe Flacco get released and I get him? But other than that, there's just no other way to do it. There's not somebody who's been retired recently that could come back. It probably was just the fact that they didn't have any other choices.
And he knows the system. He's a leader. Yeah. He's smart, and he could command that offense. And once he's in that huddle, he can command that offense and just control everything. So it's not going to be great. At times it's going to look a mess. But like I said, depending on that offensive line, running the football and getting the ball to these big physical weapons that he has.
Yeah. That's what they have to do, no doubt, and keep him healthy. So we'll see.
Yeah, absolutely.
I imagine he's been working out. He's at least been chasing those 14 kids of his all over the place. That's got to keep him somewhat agile and young feeling. I mean, how much do we know about Phillip Rivers, Coach, and what he might be actually doing right now?
Well, he has been coaching, and he has been throwing the ball. He has been working out like the three of us work out. So I don't know. Could we sit back there and play in the pocket? And he's going to know what to do. As Rodney said, he knows the system. He is a leader. He is fiery. He wants to do it. He'll give him a shot. He really will. And for the team, they're feeling like at least we're going out trying to make something happen. We haven't given up on the season.
Hey, props to Riley, but I'm taking Phillip Rivers 5 years past retirement compared to Riley. Hey, he gives me the best chance to win right now, Coach. Phillip Rivers.
Well, Riley Leonard actually played okay in that game, but he's hurt too. Now we don't know how injured he is. So I think this was desperation all the way, and we'll see what happens.
It is. Okay, let's get down to this Week 15 preview. We got the Chargers at the Chiefs. We got Green Bay at Denver, Detroit at the LA Rams, and then ultimately Sunday Night Football, the Vikings and the Cowboys. Let's start with those first three games, though. Which one are you circling first here, Coach?
Well, I really like Green Bay, Denver. I think we're going to learn a lot here. Two division leaders. As Rodney said, Denver needs this game to stay in that first place, first seed hunt. Green Bay, okay, we got a little cushion in our division. We won last week, but now we got to go on the road and play in a tough place against a great defense. And we've all kind of sat there and talked about Jordan Love. Do we have confidence in him or not? Well, now you're playing against a great defense. You're going to need some plays on the road. Can Jordan do it? Can they get some run game going to help him? I love this game, and I'm not sure who's going to win it.
I agree with you, Coach, and I'm looking at the Packers' defense against Bo Nix, and Bo likes to scramble around and move. He hasn't seen really the speed of a defense like this defense that he's going to be facing, and that's one of the things that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, which quarterback? And it's going to be low scoring. It's going to be tight, and it's going to be fourth quarter. One of these guys is going to drive their team to a field goal or a touchdown to win the game. Nix has done it all year. I think Jordan Love's going to have that opportunity against a great defense to drive them for a winning score, and we'll see if he can do it.
Yeah, and the thing too, Coach, is Jayden Reed is back, receiver for the Packers, what gives them that little quick jukey guy in the slot of that defense. The one matchup that I'm really excited to see, though, is Detroit Lions and the Rams, man. I think this is going to tell us a lot about where the Lions are at. You know, I worry about their secondary trying to defend Puka and Devontae one-on-one. I don't think that's a good matchup. The Rams defense is hungry. I like the way they bounce back from that embarrassing loss when they gave up 164 yards to the Panthers. I think the Rams are serious, and I think they're a Super Bowl contender, Jack.
Yeah. I love this game too.
Coach.
Yeah, I want to see this game. I think it's going to be the opposite of Green Bay Denver. I think it's going to be very high scoring. The Rams do not have any weaknesses really on their offense, and they have such a cast in that receiver position. Detroit can't match up with them. So Detroit's going to have to get pressure to stop that offense. And on the other side, Sean McVay, he knows Jared Goff, and he knows that the key is getting pressure. Can Detroit Lions block that defensive front of the Rams and give Goff time to throw and compete and put up 24 to 28 points?
And the question is a great question, and the answer is no. They cannot block those guys because those guys they're 8 deep. They rotate. They do all types of stunts, and this is an offensive line that have struggled with stunts and things like that.
Yep. I remember it was the Philly game, right? When we were talking about the problem for the Lions right now is that the top of the NFC, it's bad matchups for them. You can say Seattle, you can say the Rams, you can say the Eagles, which we saw.
49ers.
The 49ers.
Yeah, defensive lines.
Good matchups, Coach, for them right now.
Defensive lines that can put pressure on the quarterback. Very, very difficult situation. And Detroit, their offensive line, in past years, they could just go in and say, hey, you know what, we're going to run the ball. We're going to pound it at you. But they can't do that this year. They've got to be balanced. They've got to be able to throw, and they've got to be able to protect against those good fronts. And that's going to be the challenge on Sunday.
Yeah, that's the big difference in their whole entire offense. Before, they could just play bully ball and I'm bigger and stronger and better at the line of scrimmage and just bully you and get 4 or 5 yards. They can no longer do that, Jack.
Yeah. Briefly, I want to go to this Chargers-Chiefs game. Just watching Justin Herbert. I mean, everybody knows this guy. If you stand next to him on the football field, you cannot believe how big he is. It's like on TV, he looks like he's 6'3" or something. In real life, he's about 6'6", 6'7". Huge, thick, strong. And then he has this dog in him that I think people looked at him like he was a shy guy. Is he not a leader? He is all of the above, and his teammates respond to him. And I think that level of respect is growing now from fans as well. Rodney, that was some show we just saw him put on this week.
Jack, I was so impressed with Justin Herbert, and I text you guys and talked about, hey, run the football because he's going to get hurt if not. And just the incredible show of toughness, Coach, over and over again. I mean, I'm looking at him fall on the ground, get thrown, get beat up, and this guy constantly is getting up, consistently, time after time getting up. I mean, the show that he put on, just the show of toughness, was just ridiculous, man. Nothing but respect for Phillip Rivers.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sorry, Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert. Yeah, he's a leader. He's a winner. I had to say, I watched him play in high school. He's from Eugene, Oregon, went to University of Oregon. He's been a winner and a guy that rallies the troops wherever he's been. My only hope is that he doesn't get injured because he does have to carry that team. They don't have the protection. He is going to get sacked 4 or 5 times a game. He's going to run away from 10 other sacks in the course of the game and make things happen. But I think you're going to see the same type of game that we saw last week, a replay. It's going to be low scoring. It's going to be tough. And that Chargers defense is going to do enough to limit Mahomes in that offense that it's going to be a low-scoring Chargers win, I think.
And if you're the Chargers defensively, you have to be prepared for the Chiefs. This is a desperate team. They can try and do anything. So you go in there with an open mind, knowing that.
Yeah, and that Chargers defense had a lot of success, Coach, against the Eagles offense, and it seemed like it would be kind of a bounce back game for Philly. I mean, they need a win right now, and it felt at moments like, oh, there went Saquon, they're going to get one, but they just could not close it out, and so many turnovers by Hurts on offense.
Yeah, and the thing about it, and the game crew kept saying that this defense and the Chargers, they limit you. They don't give up big
That's
plays.
right.
They make you take 10 to 12 plays to score, and they feel like they're going to do something, get a sack, get a takeaway, cause a fumble, and that's what they did. And this was a team that had not turned the ball over, but they had to keep making big plays, and the turnovers got them. That was the difference. And Philadelphia has to be sick. The way they played that game to not come out with a win, that's going to haunt them.
Good news. Sunday Night Football is in a dome this week. Vikings
Yes.
at Cowboys. So take your snow pants, Rodney, and your puffer coats, and you can put them back in the closet for 1 week. First
you.
thing popped into your mind, Vikings at Cowboys.
Me?
Yep.
Oh, the Cowboys and George Pickens. What I'm going to see from George Pickens this week, man. And, Coach, maybe I ask you, is that a big deal the way he played? I wasn't like really super bothered by it, but as a coach, were you bothered by the way he played and his effort?
No, I think what happened is once CD Lamb went out, okay, I'm going to get doubled now. I'm probably not going to get the ball. I'm not going to be that effective because all the attention is going to be on me. Some other guys have to do it. Where that dog, as we say, would say, you know what? If they double cover me, my team needs me. I'm going to come up and be even a little bit more. And we didn't see that, but I'm okay with that. And if they get CD Lamb back this week, Pickens will have a big day. And I love this game because to me, it's kind of a mirror image. I think both teams, their wide receivers are better than the other team's DBs. So how is this game going to play out? Which quarterback can get the ball to his guys? And it's the head coach, offensive play caller against the defensive coordinator on the other side. And Kevin O'Connell, how do I deal with Matt Eberflus and get the ball to my guys? Okay, and Brian Schottenheimer, how do I deal with Brian Flores and that blitz and be able to get the ball to my guys? And which quarterback is going to be able to withstand the pressure of the game and get the ball to his guys? And I think that's going to determine the game.
Well, who can do it? I mean, based on what you're telling me, I got to believe more in Dak Prescott. Am I wrong, Coach?
Yeah, no, Dak has been phenomenal this year, and he's going to see different kinds of pressure and different kind of blitzes, but he's going to handle it. I think Brian Schottenheimer will dial up some runs where I'm not sure if Kevin O'Connell will do that. He'll say, I've got these wide receiver matchups. These DBs can't cover my guys. I'm going to just let JJ just keep firing the ball and hope that he can do it. And I think there's going to be a lot of pressure on JJ, and I think Dak ends up winning this game. We'll see, though.
Well, I think that you look at the Dallas Cowboys defense, they're not going to just be able to sit back and rush forward and get pressure. And I know Matt Eberflus, he kind of likes that bend but don't break defense. So I think he's going to have to be a little bit more aggressive and send 5 guys. And when they do send 5 guys, you can see the difference in Quinnen Williams, his effort, the pass rush. These guys get excited when they have opportunities in one-on-one situations. And, when they get double teamed, they kind of shut it down because they feel like they're not going to get the ball. So that, Coach, 1,000 storylines, can't wait to see them all.
Final question on this game. Do the Cowboys make the playoffs? Coach, I'll start with you. Do the Cowboys find a way in?
I think they still have an uphill climb, but this will be a big game. This is a game at home, a game that you should win, but Minnesota's got some firepower. So I'd say 75% chance that they don't get in the playoffs, but no chance if they don't win this game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I would say no, they're not getting in the playoffs. They continue to build their team and continue to strive to get better on defense, but I just don't see this team making it to the playoffs, Jack.
Okay, last question. This on the Vikings side. Vikings really more looking towards 2026 at this point in time. J.J. McCarthy, we have seen a little bit of everything from him this year. Coach, is he your quarterback in 2026? Or are you bringing in some possible others along the way?
Well, I think they want to find that out in these last 4 games, and this will be a good test. And that's another reason why I think Kevin O'Connell will throw the ball a lot to see what this guy can do in pressure situations. We've seen him play some not so good football. We've seen him play well against some bad teams. Can he do it on the big stage in a big moment on Sunday night? And that'll go a long ways to telling us whether I need to bring in another quarterback next year or not.
Yeah, because he couldn't do it on Sunday night when we had him against the Atlanta Falcons. But he'll definitely have an opportunity to do that against the Cowboys. I like J.J. McCarthy. I think that they need to just play him and just give him as many reps as possible. And even going into next season, you got to bring in a veteran that can come in and teach him and kind of compete with him and be that soft voice for him. I mean, he's a young player. He's a young player. It's going to take time to develop. The only way you develop is you got to get good live reps, and none better than this weekend.
And that's what I think this will be. It'll be kind of an audition. Normally, I would go on our pregame show and say, hey, Minnesota needs to run the ball, take the pressure off their quarterback. But I think Kevin O'Connell is going to say, let me find out about this kid. Can he do it? We're going to put the game plan on him.
Especially with this secondary you're going against. You're going against this secondary, man. I would throw the ball 40 times if I
my
were
receivers
on the
are better
Minnesota
than these guys. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's not even close.
I think you better show something fast. Talking about JJ, this would be a good time if he goes out there on Sunday Night Football this week with a lot of people watching after what has not been a great year for this offense. Kevin O'Connell was viewed as this mastermind, and he can do it with Sam Darnold, and he can do it with any quarterback. He's going to turn them into a good player, and it has not been that. Now with the world watching on Sunday night towards the back half of the year, I think it's a really big game for JJ McCarthy as it projects toward his future. And being the quarterback. Fellas, thank you so much. I look forward to seeing both of you in Dallas. It's hard to believe. Week 15. FNIA podcast. Wow. We are out. See you in the Big D.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.